Man United 1, Lyon 0 in our second game of pre-season before the tour starts out here in New Jersey. That's where I'm at right now. That's where we're at right now, as you can see. I'm going to take a trip into New York later on as well. But yes, Man United have won by 1-0 against Lyon. Match was a little bit meh. I thought the first 15 minutes, man, we were really good. And actually, the positives that I would say is that the first 15 minutes, you can tell what it is that we want to do. It's annoying that there's always a drop-off when we do it in spells. Kind of similar to last season. We saw spells of dominance, spells of winning the ball back aggressively, high up the pitch, in the opposition's face, making them make mistakes, forcing them into errors, and then consequently making chances off the back of that. But it's all very patchy when we see it, and it's a work in progress. Obviously, it's a very mixed team, and it's pre-season. I understand that completely. But I thought we were very good in the first 15 minutes. Hannibal, just off the front, was pressing people, winning the ball back. Jadon Sancho was neat and tidy in the false nine position. Anthony on the left-hand side, Ahmad on the right. I think in midfield, obviously Kobe Mainoo and Mason Mount were doing a good job of recycling the ball. Defensively, we were very comfortable. Balls between the lines, balls down the channels. You know, who else? Varane was putting people in. A couple balls over the top. So we were creating chances, and actually Anthony should have scored. And definitely Ahmad should have scored as well. They both should have scored those chances. Anthony probably should have dinked the keeper, and Ahmad's got to be finding a corner. He had two to pick from, but he went straight at the keeper for his shot from like a step over from a cutback cross on the left-hand side from Anthony, step over from Mesbury, and Ahmad puts it straight at the keeper. But it was exciting to see. You're thinking, actually, there's going to be goals here. But a little bit like the first game, the first team just weren't ruthless enough. They weren't clinical enough. The chances weren't getting dispatched of. And then after that sort of first 15 minutes, we just lost our focus a little bit, lost our intensity, stopped winning the ball high up on the pitch, started to make a couple of mistakes, couple turnovers in possessions. So we had to get back and defend, couple of blocks. And then the first half just kind of petered out in kind of like the true sense of a pre-season game, second game of pre-season, you know, especially with a lot of the first teamers who want to kind of go through the motions. Yes, they want to have some intensity, but they're not going to be running around like when the kids come on and they've got a massive point to prove to Ten Hag. And look, everyone's playing for their shirt. I get that, but you're always going to get a little bit more intensity, a little bit more pace in the game with the youngsters, which is what we saw again in the second half, which I'll get to in a minute. But I think overall in the first half, you're seeing signs of what some players can do. I thought Mason Mount was fairly quiet, popped up into some good positions. Again, he gets about the pitch well. He's going to press well. He's going to try and win the ball back well. Some neat touches, some nice passes, but nothing to ride home about, you know. A shot that went over the bar, which by his standards, he could have got on target. But he's just trying to feel his way into this team. And it's difficult for him as well because the team that he's starting in is almost going to be nowhere near the team that he starts in for the first game of the season against Wolves when everyone's back, or the first game that we start when everybody gets out here to face Arsenal, which will probably be a really strong first 11. It's not going to be the same. So he's trying to just find his way. I think Ahmad, he does some nice bits of play, has showed that he's kicked on a little bit in terms of his strength, but still a little bit there. I think it's going to be another loan for Ahmad, and I'm not just deciding that off the last two games, you know, because he's played okay in them, and I'm not saying like he had to light it up and, you know, score a hat-trick in both games and that means we keep him. But there has been that discussion over whether we should keep him here. Does he push Anthony? Could he come in for Anthony when things aren't going right, or just to push Anthony a little bit of squad depth? But it's probably looking like another loan. Depends who we sell, depends what's going on, but I think another loan. If you can get a loan in the Premier League as well, I think for his development that'll actually be really good. But it depends what happens with Pellistri. If they send Pellistri out, then you never know. They might decide to keep Ahmad on loan. You never know. But if we get a Kolo Muani, or once we get Højlund, which we badly need, I'll get onto that in a minute. You just don't know how it's gonna turn out. But yeah, Jadon Sancho, again, he doesn't want to be playing false nine, but when it's neat and tidy and at his pace and his intensity, or his, well, not intensity, that's probably the wrong word. But when the game's at his pace, like I said, it's easy for him. He's going to have nice little touches around the box. He's going to set people, lay people in. And he did that. He probably should have laid in Anthony, but he chose to shoot. But then he did lay in Anthony the first time, and Anthony should have scored. So he did okay. But after that, again, once first I started drifting, he's drifting deeper, trying to get on the ball. It's false nine territory. It's not a true representation of what we're trying to do with Jadon Sancho. In fact, but really though, it's actually a good experience for him, because I'm not saying he's going to spend time at number 9, because hopefully he doesn't, because we've got a number 9 for that. But it's going to be interesting to see how much he plays and where, because now Anthony's back. We know that Ten Hag favours him on the right-hand side in the starting team. Rashi's going to be back. Garnacho's going to be back. Those two ahead of, obviously, Sancho on the left-hand side. And then you're going to get Højlund, which looks, I'm thinking a bit forward here, but you're probably going to get Højlund. So, yeah, Jadon Sancho is going to probably have quite a lot of appearances from the bench when everybody's fully fit, if it goes to plan. So we'll have to wait and see about that. But into the second half, and it's the second half, kids. It's the second half team that keeps raising it, keeps raising the intensity and getting the goals and ultimately winning us games in this pre-season in the second game. They did it against Leeds last week in Norway, in Oslo. They've done the same thing with Emerald coming on and Hugo scoring. And it was the same today. I thought Dan Gore, as Owen says, he was really good. Good, energetic, some good passes forward, winning fouls. And he hits I'm going to say a speculative cross. It is a good cross, but to expect someone to score from it in the way that we did, he probably didn't, but he done well to keep the ball in and cross it. And Donny van der Beek, I'm really pleased for him. He deserved that goal. He deserved that goal, man. You could just see the relief in his face, the relief in his celebration. Obviously, it's only a pre-season against Lyon in Edinburgh, but you can just see it was like, I've been injured for so long, I can't get a clean break. It's just nice to see the ball hit the back of the net. Yeah, it's not a competitive game, but he needed that. It's good for his confidence, and that's good for him to get that. And actually, it was a really good goal. Does it change the situation going forward? I think it's very unlikely. Like KG said, if McTominay and Fred did go, it's, you know, sometimes it's hard to sell many players in a window all at once. So if those two went, then maybe you might keep Donny, actually, to be fair, if there's not another suitor for him. And again, you have to bring another one in because that'll be 3 midfielders gone. You need to get at least 2 more in. If you want one to be Amrabat, fair enough, but then you're going to need another one if McTominay goes on top of that. And then if you let Van der Beek go on top of that, you're going to need another one. So I think you never know where this is going to go. I mean, look, Johnny Evans played for us in the second half, which, you know, a couple of well-timed tackles. You know, it could be, it's a weird one. It could work out all right for us, just to help us out for a little bit, especially if we haven't got the money to go and get another centre-back. It doesn't do us any harm, put it that way. But if we do keep him longer than the tour, because he's obviously here just to get his fitness up, and he's obviously impressed enough to be able to come on the tour. Ten Hag doesn't just give players fitness minutes in a pre-season game for no reason. I think if Johnny Evans does all right, they might give him a year's deal. And if they do, what does that mean for Harry Maguire? Because what's the point in getting Johnny Evans if Harry Maguire is going to stay? So interesting to just see what happens with that. I know they said he's going to play in San Diego, but if he does okay, what is he going to play against Real Madrid? Is he going to play against Dortmund? Is he going to play when he get back against Lens or over there in Dublin, obviously? So yeah, I don't know. Really interesting there. But my point is that back to Donny, does it change anything? Not really, but great to see him on the score sheet. So yeah, I liked what Kobe Mainoo was doing. He was comfortable. Alvaro Fernandez did okay, but some little lapses in concentrations, loose touches. And when the kids came on again, it's difficult then to do what they need to do. But we got the job done. But the tour starts now. Okay, we are over here, this side of the pond. We made it finally. We're here in New Jersey, not far from the MetLife Stadium where the game will be taking place. Obviously, we will be spending time in New York as well. We can't come all the way over here and not spend time in New York. So much content coming for you guys. Tour 2023, you're going to love it. We're going to love it. I'm with KG again. I mean, honestly, even the flight over here and just traveling, it's been a lot. So if you lot see me lagging where I'm looking a bit like, it's because you know I'm with KG, and KG, he can take it out of you. He's a complex character. But we got loads of content for your head top coming, man. So yeah, smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we'll see you again very, very soon on this epic tour. Tour 2023, come on. That's 2022. 2023.